Lynn and I left La Grande on April 3rd for an extended birdwatching adventure. My sister Meredith traveled from Switzerland to hold down the fort while we were on the road. We drove from La Grande over to Idaho and then down into Nevada to visit Ruby Lake National Wildlife Refuge. We spent 2 nights at Ruby Lake and then drove west and north to a new for us refuge, Sheldon National Wildlife Refuge. Sheldon National Wildlife Refuge is set aside for pronghorn antelope. However, we failed to spot a single one inside the refuge. The birding was better than expected, and the main campground includes a warm springs pool and rustic showers. The water temperature was about 80 degrees and it felt great. After spending a couple of nights at Sheldon National Wildlife Refuge, we headed back east and up to Oregon. We stopped at Fields for milkshakes and again on the road up to Steens Mountain to watch the wild horses. We set up camp at Page Springs. We've stayed at Page Springs probably more than just about any other campground anywhere. After spending a couple of nights at Page Springs and driving through Malheur National Wildlife Refuge, we drove up to Burns, refueled, and then headed west to the Summer Lake Hot Springs. After one night at the hot springs, we drove up to the State Wildlife Refuge at Summer Lake. This refuge has several camping spots, so we set up camp there. Camping there was free, and we had the campground to ourselves. The birding was probably best at Summer Lake. The next day, we traveled west through the Klamath Marsh National Wildlife Refuge before heading south into California to drive through the Lower Klamath National Wildlife Refuge. We had planned to head to the coast from there, but the weather looked marginal, so we headed back east to Sheldon National Wildlife Refuge. We camped at Catnip Reservoir, but got a little nervous from the deep ruts on the access road to the campground. It did not look like somewhere you'd want to be when it rained, and sure enough, it started to rain at 4 in the morning. So we moved up to the main road to finish out the night. Before we left the campground, Lynn had to crawl under the van to reattach the exhaust pipe from the diesel heater. We finished up the trip with another night at Page Springs, a drive through Malheur National Wildlife Refuge, and our final night at the Crane Hot Springs before heading back north to La Grande.